welcome back to Bridge Brunch with me, Al Jackson, with you through until midday today. Good morning to Mark, who's tweeted in to say he's listening, and also to Alan and Tracy, who've sent us a message via the website. Good morning to you all. Hope you're enjoying the show this morning. I'm very pleased to say we're joined on the line now by Dudley's first ever Green Party councillor representing Netherton, Woodside and St Andrews, and also the new Deputy Leader of the Green Party, Councillor Will Duckworth. Good morning, Will.
Hello, how are you, Al?
Not too bad, thank you. It's been, I think this is our first opportunity we've actually had to congratulate you on your new role, Deputy Leader of the Green Party in England and Wales. Has it sunk in yet?
It's beginning to sink in as I'm going round to different places, and I'm getting stopped on things like the March on the 20th with things that, oh, can I have my photo taken with the Deputy Leader of the party? Where is it? Oh, it's me.
How did you end up deciding to put yourself forward for Deputy Leader?
Well, a friend of mine decided and suggested I went for it because we don't have many actual councillors in leading role within the party because they tend to be too busy doing the council work. But as I haven't got a full-time paid job, and all I do is the council work and look after my wife, I said, you would really be good at this, it would be ever such a good idea. So I got persuaded to stand, and I stood, and I got it.
Well, how does the kind of whole process work within the party? It's kind of election basis, isn't it, for being nominated?
We have this weird idea, you see. Every member of the party gets to vote for the leader, and every member of the party gets to vote for the deputy leader.
Were you expecting it? Or were you just kind of going forward as a bit of experience, or do you think you were genuinely in with a chance?
I wasn't expecting to win it by any means. I was going for it to try and point out openly and publicly the electoral success that we've had in the West Midlands recently, and the fact that the party is a socialist party that's actually fighting for the working people throughout the country, and making sure this was writ big in our headlines. And obviously I was voted in, so a lot of the members of the party agreed that that's what we should be concentrating on.
So what are your responsibilities in this new role? What sort of work is it you've been taking on since becoming Deputy Leader?
Well, I've been I'm mainly doing internal work, talking to other local parties and regional parties, explaining to them the sorts of things that we can be doing, sorts of things that we should be doing to get more councillors elected. But I've also been going and meeting and making decisions nationally, like we were discussing the budget for Europe and how our MP should vote on that, and making those sorts of decisions nationally, as well as I met a delegation from the Basque country last week to discuss with them their moves for peaceful end to the conflict over there. So it's quite wide-ranging.
It's wide-ranging, and obviously quite a big kind of public role that you've taken on. Obviously, it's the people of Netherton, Woodside, and St Andrews who elected you to represent their interests. Is the service you offer them going to suffer now as a result of taking on this new position?
Well, I certainly hope it isn't. I mean, for a while we didn't manage to get the leaflet out as quickly as we had expected, because there are other things happening, but we have service resumed as normal. I've got some very, very useful assistants who are helping me, unpaid voluntary people, who are doing a lot of the work for me, but I'm managing to attend virtually all of the council meetings and associated meetings that I could before, and sometimes sending somebody else is going to local parks meeting or local residents meetings when I can't get there. But very often those sorts of things accumulate, so there's 3 to go to and 1 night, so it's very difficult anyway.
Now, earlier on, one meeting which I assume you were at this week, we were speaking to Dudley Council's Finance Chief, Pete Lowe, who delivered the new Labour administration's first budget since they took control of the council in May. The big kind of headline news really that it's planned for £22 million of cuts over the next 3 years. I mean, what's your reaction to the Dudley Council budget?
Well, I do realise that Dudley Council is in an awfully difficult situation with the constraints put on it by the government. We actually need to be talking to everybody in the borough about what we can do in terms of diminishing the effects of these awful, dreadful cuts. The central government is not allowing the council to raise council tax by more than 2%, and if they raise it by 2%, then they will lose a 1% subsidy from the government. And if they need to go, if they decide they want to go for an inflation increase, then we have to have a referendum, which is very expensive, but I think it may be the only way that we can preserve services within the borough, because the cuts are going to really, really hurt, and they're going to hurt everybody, but especially the most vulnerable in our society.
I know it's Labour arguing that they're, like you said, in a financial straitjacket as a result of national government policy. Sounds like you sort of sympathise with that position.
Oh, absolutely, totally, yes, I certainly do. But I don't think a Labour central government would be doing a lot different. They've never said that they'd be doing a lot different, but it's certainly what the government is doing is definitely tying the hands of every local authority in the country. They talk about localism, but this is completely anti-democratic. It really is fighting against the people who are elected to serve people in areas like ours.
Now, Will, you were elected as the very first Green Party councillor in Dudley in May, in the Dudley Borough, I should say. How easy have you found it to put across your views and push the policy of the Green Party? Obviously, you're a lone councillor. You're just the one Green Party councillor. How easy has it been to put forward your position?
Well, it's about as easy as any single councillor, whether they're Labour, Tory or anything else. You have to sort of get in, get your feet under the table, work out exactly how all the systems work, and then start trying to make a difference and make progress. But I'm talking to a lot of people from both sides of the council about the way forward, and I think we really do have to discuss things openly and make people understand what will happen if we have to go through with these dreadful cuts.
Now, I'm interested to hear kind of an honest assessment, if you can, of how the Green Party are shaping up across the Dudley Borough. I know you put a lot of effort, way before the actual election, a lot of effort into getting you elected in Netherton, Woodside and St Andrews. How's the party shaping up across the borough, and do you have any further kind of target seats for the next local elections where you're going to focus a lot of your attention?
Yes, we have had a look around at a number of different places, and we have decided one place to focus on. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag and tell the opposition where we're targeting, because they might respond. But we are quietly targeting one or two areas where we think that in a couple of years' time we will have a real good chance of making progress. And we've got Carly Owen, who is doing a lot of work helping me, who will be standing in Netherton Woodside in 2014.
Okay, so you're hoping to get a second councillor there if possible?
Yes.
Now, we'll let you go in a second, but I know you're heading over to Stourbridge this afternoon to do a bit of campaigning. You've been folding leaflets this morning. Tell us what it is you're up to this afternoon.
Well, apparently the head and some of the governors are trying to turn Redhill School into an academy, which means taking it out of public ownership, giving it to a private company to do with as they will, virtually. It will mean dreadful change of working practices, change of conditions to the teachers, and a completely different set of guidelines for the way the school operates. They will be able to take people that take only pupils they want. They'll be able to get rid of pupils whenever they wish and throw them to the wolves, so to speak. It could be an absolute disaster for the people of the area.
Is it really going to be such a bad thing, you think, to become an academy?
Well, there's an awful lot of academies who do well for a while, but there's an awful lot of academies that do very, very badly. The real danger is, once it's turned into an academy, which is a very, very easy process, then it is almost impossible to get it turned back. They take it on for 99 years. and it's a private company who can choose the curriculum, do what they like with the school, set off playing fields to people, and they can make sure you can only buy your school uniform from Tesco's or anywhere they choose, and of course they will get money for that. It is just a way of privatising the education system we have.
When did this kind of come? I must admit, I haven't heard a great deal on this. When did you hear about these plans, and how long have they been put in place? And importantly, why do you think they want to become an academy?
It's happened very, very recently. Yesterday was the first I heard about it. And the reason heads like to become academies is mainly because they get a huge pay rise normally. And I can't see a lot more than that. Some of them, of course, don't like the fact that the local authority is looking over their shoulder and trying to make sure that they run the school fairly. And if they don't like that, then academy status is one way out. But it's very often a good way of getting ahead to have a nice increase in pay.
So you're going to be off around the school, sort of leafleting this afternoon?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. We wish you luck as you continue your role as deputy leader. Have you have you been elected for a certain period of time? Or?
Yes, 2 years. We get elected for 2 years.
Excellent.
And then we have to go back to the membership and get to and stand again or not, as the case may be. But we have a general idea that if you do 2 terms in office, then that's enough for anybody. Even Caroline Lucas stood down after 2 terms.
And are you happy staying as deputy, or do you think you might want to put yourself forward as leader one day?
Oh no, I don't think so. I'm very happy doing the deputy role. This is exactly what I wanted to do, being able to go around and explain to local parties exactly what's happening and just stand in for the leader whenever necessary.
Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. We'll no doubt be speaking to you over the next few months, and perhaps we'll get you along to talk a bit more about what's happening with Redhill School when it all becomes a bit clearer.
That'd be great.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with your leafleting this afternoon.
Thanks, Al.
Cheers, Will. That's Will Duckworth there, Dudley's first ever Green Party councillor. He represents Netherton, Woodside and St Andrews, and as we were discussing there, the new deputy leader of the Green Party in England and Wales. Do stick around. You'll listen to Bridge Brunch with me, Al Jackson. Back with you after this.